Hey guys, so I just got back from my doctor's appointment and I was very, very, very relieved. Um, First question I asked him was, do you believe in people getting flocks? Do you know what a floxy is and all that? And he said yes. He gave me the definition and he knew exactly what I was talking about. And I said, do you believe in that? And he said, absolutely. And so it was a big relief. Um, so let me get up my bulletins so I don't get sidetracked here. So the main thing, um, I'm only going to go a little over the research right now because I still have a lot to do. Right now I'm just going to go over the appointment. Okay, so he did tell me that there is there is a, I think it's a urine test from Michigan. It that like hardly anybody knows about, and it actually tests, from what I understand, the fluoride whatever in your body. Supposedly, it can pretty much tell you if you have been fluxed. Pretty much. And that's awesome. So, of course, it's still in trial phase, or it just got out of the trial phase. Not many people know about it, so insurance doesn't cover it. So that's going to be coming out of pocket, but it's well worth it. So I'm going to be doing it as soon. Now, of course, I posted all this on this Floxy group. And of course, I'm trying to explain it to them the best I can. He gave me a lot of information at one time, so I'm trying to give them just a little bit of information, like, hey, this is what I found out. God forbid they Google or something. They apparently, some did, and they Googled and they found something totally different than what I was talking about. And they were like, and there was a lot of negative people on there first. It kind of shocked me because so far this main group that I've been with, they've been really positive as far as with each other. So it kind of took me back. They were kind of almost attacking me. It was kind of weird because I was just saying, hey, I'm kind of new to this, still doing my research. Went to my doctor's office. This is what I found out. This is what he told me. Some of y'all probably already know this, but this is what I found out. And the first thing I told him was the urine test. And a lot of people posted about the halogen urine test for fluoride. And it's close to what I was talking about, but it wasn't what I was talking about. And they're like, well, I don't see how that would do that. Da, 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 da. I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. If you can Google it and it be within like the first two like results, it's probably not it, because like I said in my paragraph, my doctor told me nobody knows about it. Those were his exact words. So it's probably going to be hard to find using Google. I'm sure you can find it, but it's going to take some time to find it. It's not going to be easy peasy, click, search, click, find. The things that they brought up were literally the first 3 links that I brought up to see if they were what he was in fact talking about, and they weren't, and so that's why I took down the tabs. And of course they posted them, I guess, assuming that's what I was talking about, and I was like, no, that's not the test. So what I think the test is called, and I may be totally wrong because this website is not the correct website. But I'm going by this website because it's the closest thing that I can find. Is Urinhalides, I think is how it's pronounced. Yeah. We're gonna go with that. So it has something to do with iodine and halogen in your urine and fluoride and all that stuff. And they're able to somehow test you for the toxins and whatnot. So what they do is you either order the kit or the doctor orders you the kit, and you do it. You send it off, and they test it. Bada boom, bada bing. Sure, it's really expensive. The next thing is that got us on the topic of iodine. A few months back, right before a lot of these newer symptoms happened, about the time that my thyroid started being hyperactive for a couple weeks, I started craving shrimp like crazy, morning, noon, and night. I mean, I could just eat shrimp all day. That's all I wanted. I didn't want anything else. I wanted shrimp. I went out and bought me bags and bags and bags of frozen shrimp so that I could cook it. That's all I ate was shrimp. I mean, for almost a month, that's all I ate was shrimp. That's almost all I could eat. Like, thinking about anything else to eat was just gross to me. My bandana is slipping. It bothers me. So, and so whenever they told me my thyroid was messed up, I was like, well, maybe that's why I was craving iodine. Well, it never occurred to me that about that time was when the tachycardia started. Well, whenever I found out I had tachycardia, I was told to be on a high potassium, low carb, high sodium diet. Well, with a high sodium diet, you get a higher concentrate of iodine in your diet with iodized salt. And also, I used pink Himalayan salt, which has more iodine in it. So I was getting my iodine from that, and I didn't think about that. So this whole time, I've been consuming more salt. I've been consuming more iodine this whole time instead of the shrimp. So the whole iodine thing is iodine flushes. I mean, it helps your immune system, your metabolism, and everything anyways. But it helps flush out the fluoride and everything. So it could be one reason why my body is craving it. I mean, it could be craving it to flush out something else. But that was one thing that we kind of touched on. So, and then I gave him the list of labs that I wanted to have done, and I told him that, I looked at some of them. I said, what do you think? He said a few of them we may not need to do, and he explained them to me. I was like, oh yeah, never mind, just cross that out. And he's like, yeah, we'll do this. And I was like, oh, awesome, great. So next week I'll be seeing the nurse practitioner, insurance reasons, blah blah blah, who will actually be ordering the tests. So I'll be getting that done, and then I can finally start my potassium back, because I can really tell a difference when I'm not on potassium and magnesium. So it just felt really awesome to be able to talk to him and tell him what all was going on with me and not feel judged. Like, I had my binder out, and I'm like flipping through pages and stuff, and he's not looking at me like I'm crazy, and he's actually like waiting on me to flip through the pages, and he's not getting bored and running to the next question. And I mean, he waited for me to get, if he asked me if I had a lab about something, I would flip to that lab, but it would take me a minute to get there. And I mean, he just really listened to me, and it was really awesome. whenever he would ask me about a symptom, he would let me explain it. And it just felt so good to be listened to. Another thing that he discussed with me, this is something Dr. Johnson wanted to do. Now, Dr. Johnson was in that medical practice. He moved back to New York, or to New York. I don't know if he was originally from New York. I don't know what the deal. He's in New York now. So now Dr. Hardig is there now. One thing he did mention to me, because I did mention to him about my tooth decay, and how I thought that was from all the antibiotics I was on, and from the calcium deficiency that I had, and he mentioned right before, because we were kind of wrapping up, and then he said, now your dental issues, he said, how many silver fillings do you have? And I was like, well, shit, I don't know, a lot. Just about every tooth that's left in my head. And actually, I've got some in the teeth that's barely even not in my head, that, are like level with my gums, and hell, some of my gums are growing over those teeth and those fillings. So, like, I don't know. So actually, luckily my mom was there. I had to open my mouth up so my mom could see and count how many fillings I had. And he asked me, do you know around about how many you had on top? I'm like, 5, 6-ish. I don't know. And he's like, well, how many root canals did you have? And I said, I've had 2. I said, but they're now gone. They were the ones on top. And I was trying to figure out where he was going with this. I was just thinking maybe he was thinking antibiotics or in the teeth, whatever. Where he was going with this was the silver fillings, and this is part of my research and what he said. What he said was, your fillings may have leaked. And I'm like looking at him, I'm like, huh? And he said, dental fillings, silver fillings, are average about 50% mercury. Yeah. Mercury. Yeah. This isn't the whole like, there's mercury in vaccines, type thing. No, this is like legitimate. He wants to test me for chronic heavy metal poisoning, because of how many silver fillings I've had that may have leaked. Okay, so my sister just came in and I kind of lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was. And, yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna have this test done. It's gonna cost a couple $100. This isn't a test that you can go have done down at the lab, because they only test for recent poisonings. They don't test. It's not a chronic exposure test that labs can do. This is something that has to be sent off to a specific lab, and of course it's expensive. And what it actually is, your fillings are made of, it's a dental amalgam. It's a mixture of mercury, silver, tin, and copper. Mercury, which makes up about 50% of the compound, is used to bind the metals together and provide a strong, hard, durable filling. It makes it pliable enough to get it to the right bite, and it makes it harden quick. So you're not there forever. And it makes it very durable. So that's why they use mercury. Yeah. I did not know that. Did not know that. So, sorry, I really lost my train of thought. So, because I had a couple more things that I was gonna add, and totally lost my train of thought. Crap. I'm trying to keep this video clean. So, I'm gonna do the urine test. I'm gonna do the metal test. He's gonna order the kits, and he's gonna tell me when they come in. Of course, I'm gonna have to come up with the money. I don't know how, but I'm gonna have to come up with the money and do the test. And meanwhile, the nurse practitioner that I'll be seeing, he will order the other tests for me so that I can start back on my potassium supplements. I really need them. I can really tell when I don't have enough potassium and magnesium. Like, there's some vitamins you take that you just, like, you can't really tell, but my potassium and my magnesium, I can really tell when I don't have them. Like, I can feel it. And I know I'm very, deprived of both minerals. I need it, but I want an accurate baseline of where I'm at without those supplements. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm torturing myself for the name of science. For a freaking accurate diagnosis. So he suggested the heavy metals because of the dental issues. He wants to make sure we're on the right path. He said because if you think about it, my symptoms fit fluxed symptoms as well as chronic heavy metal symptoms as well. Or I could have been fluxed, and the decay of my teeth causing heavy metal poisoning, because when I was originally fluxed, I had like episodes of things, and now it's just like one big episode. So that's kind of been a change, and that was when my teeth started to decay. So that, and I kind of mentioned that, and I think that's when a light bulb clicked in his head, and that's when the wheels started turning, and he thought of that. So it's amazing. It really is amazing. What they still use, in modern medicine. It really is. You look back and you see things on Facebook and history channels and stuff like that, where they show either pictures or TV shows, where they show about how in the 1800s and early 1900s, how they used like cocaine and heroin and opium and stuff, and like cough syrups and stuff, and they used mercury in hat making, and that's why they came up with the Mad Hatter, and they in the old mercury thermometers. Oh Lord, no, you can't use those, even though they're the best freaking thermometers. If I were to use anything with mercury, I would use a mercury thermometer. I would give anything to find a real mercury thermometer. Those things were the best. If you know where to get them, please comment below and let me know where to get them. I have Googled, I have Amazoned, I have eBayed, I have everything, and I cannot find a real mercury thermometer. And those are the best things in the world. You gotta be real careful with them. But my grandma always had one, and I remember you always had to be really careful. And until you were like 6 or 7, you were not allowed to hold that yourself. And when you heard something hit the floor after you just had your temperature taken, and you heard SHIT really loud, you knew not to go in the kitchen for like at least 30 minutes until it was all cleaned up. But I mean, they're the best thermometers. I don't care what digital, the forehead, the ear, temple, nut, the mercury thermometers are amazing. If I had anything mercury, I would go with thermometers. But we still use mercury in our feelings and stuff that are in our teeth. They get wore down. And, you know, some people don't keep up with their dental stuff. And he even told me, he even said, you know, if you can get your dental records. I'm like, oh my God. Like, do you know how many dentists I've been to? And the last time I've been to a dentist, ugh, I don't even know where to start. Like, they probably don't even have my files anymore. So, yeah, I've got to try and track down my dental, records. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like, we look back and we're like, oh my God, they used to use all these things, and it's a wonder that people lived through that and everything. Well, if you think about it, look at what they're so using in our stuff, in our foods, in our drinks, and in our medicines and stuff. I mean, if you really think about it, it's not much different. If anything, it's gotten worse. They found better alternatives that have proven to be worse. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be making this video right now. So I'm going to stop right here. I gave myself a 25-minute limit, and I'm almost to that mark. So that was my doctor's appointment. I was very, very relieved when I left there. He gave me I hate using the word hope. He gave me a little bit of hope, that at least I'm on the right path with the right doctor. But I do know that money is going to become an issue. And that is the problem with stuff like this. Caught myself. Even though the FDA has recognized this, they're not approving things to test for it. And I will be on that issue in the next video.